Hi guys. So yesterday I was quite busy with all the opposition responses to the motions to seal, and I have seen the transcript of Jamie Heath and Justin Baldoni, and I sat on it for a little while, and obviously a lot of people commenting about us, really angry, rightly so, and I kind of wanted to think about my response. And I guess, since then we've had a couple of letters go on the docket. This is from Jonathan Back. He is the lawyer for Wayfarer, works with Alexandra Shapiro. And there's a simple little letter. We write on behalf of Wayfarer parties to seek sealing of a forthcoming letter concerning recent disclosures of personal identifying information of the type the court has previously ordered to be sealed. So that came. Then the letter, which is here, it's sealed. So that's not something we can look at. And then we got this. Let's have a look. It's on Pacer, so I will have to go to Pacer. Okay. So then, yeah, here's the letter from Lively. And it's from Gottlieb. Dear Judge Lyman, Exhibits H and I to the declaration of Kristen Bender, which is the deposition transcript, in support of Miss Lively's opposition to the Wayfarer defendant's motion for continued sealing, have been temporarily sealed. Miss Lively respectfully requests that the court permanently seal docket numbers 1211, Exhibit 8, and 1211, Exhibit 9. In light of ongoing consultations with counsel for the Wayfarer parties over the course of today, and to further address the Wayfarer defendant's letter, which is Jonathan Bach's letter, Ms. Lively respectfully submits that the contents relevant to the judicial function are available in redacted and/or accepted form at docket number 1072, Exhibit 3, corresponding with Exhibit I, and 1072 Exhibit 4 corresponding with Exhibit H, and accordingly does not seek to file replacement versions of these exhibits. So what Blake Lively has just admitted with that letter is that she did not even need to file the depositions, basically, because there were already the relevant portions of the deposition transcript she was relying on filed elsewhere on the docket. So she just dumped those two entire deposition transcripts with the personal identifying information for no reason at all. And that really makes me quite mad. Because not only, I don't believe it, it doesn't strike me that she did that accidentally at all. It was incompetence, it was unprofessional, it was negligent. But these are supposed to be, sort of elite law firms. And they have been warned over and over again about publishing things onto the docket that have identifying information or private information, confidential information, and yet they keep doing it. And not just in this docket, they did it in Texas with Jed Wallace's medical condition. And yeah, I have seen them here. Like I think I said in one of the in Lively's opposition against Sony, they redacted Ange Gianetti's name. We've already, while saying that the text message from Ange Gianetti was already public, already part of Wayfarer's complaint, we all already know who it is, she was still redacting Ange Gianetti's name. And I even said, why are you redacting the name if we already know who this is? And I can't believe how careless Blake Lively and her lawyers have been about this. And it does feel deliberate at this point. It really, really does. And then the next entry above the letter from Gottlieb is the order from Judge Lyman granting the motion to seal Wayfarer's deposition transcript. So obviously, those transcripts are now sealed. They're unavailable. There will be a lot of people who have already got them through screenshots, downloads, including myself. I've got downloads too. And I will be going ahead and reading them in full. However, I will not be reading out any personal identifying information. I never was going to do that anyway. I would hope that anyone who has got copies or screenshots will remove the personal identifying information. Because Wayfarer did respond. Clearly, they don't want that out there, and that's fair enough. I hope the Wayfarer now go for sanctions against Lively. I hope that this is enough. This is the line finally being crossed for them, because so far they have kind of been quite, they've been fairly laid back about the crap that Lively has pulled, and it's been time after time after time. Everything from, dumping private messages that were already obtained through kind of unethical, immoral means, and putting them in the New York Times. And we've just had, private information after private information coming out. When Brian Friedman did attach Lively's deposition transcript, which may or may not, no, when he attached it, it was filed under seal, so we couldn't see it. And he asked the court permission to unseal it. Lively had a bitch fit. She filed a motion to strike, which was granted. She requested sanctions, which were not granted. And I'm like, but at least when Friedman uploaded her entire deposition, it kept it under seal until the court, until such time the court may have said, yes, we can unseal this. Lively's whole argument was that she would have to request it seal it. It was an inconvenience to her and she should not have to do that. Lyman agreed. But I can't believe that Lively put the depositions out there in full with their home addresses, knowing full well they've got families, they've got children, and then it turns out then, according to the letter from Michael Gottlieb, they didn't even need to do that, because there was already what they needed was already on the docket. So like, yeah, okay, well, actually we don't need to do it. So yeah, seal them, and we're not going to seek to file replacement versions. I can't with this woman anymore. I mean, I never could, I guess, but when content creators kicked up a fuss and filed motions to quash because they did not want their personal information, my personal information, my financial information, my location, my real name, etc. I did not want that getting into Lively's hands. There's a reason. But when the outrage over Blake Lively demanding all the videos of Natasha Heath giving birth, it's for stuff like this, because once she's got it, she could put it on the docket, unsealed, and then claim it was an accident. So I am really unhappy at all. It is incredibly unprofessional, and it falls, far below standards that are expected from officers of the court. And not only that, it's, yes, when you are involved in these litigations and you've got the opposing counsel, you still have to maintain a level of fairness. You still have to be respectful of each other's rights, responsibilities, and it's so disappointing to see this kind of childish gamesmanship where real people and innocent people, the wives, the children, are being used as pawns. Um, okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, I could say so much more, but then I would probably get my video kicked off YouTube. So I am gonna proceed with reading the depositions. I will not be showing any redacted information. So I will be moving the screen away from. I'll stop the screen share at the point there's any personal information, and I will not be reading that out. I'm hoping to get that start this because it's going to be a long series. If you remember, Nicole Alexander's deposition was a 7-hour deposition, and it took me 9 1-hour videos to get through it all in full. Jamie Heath and Justin Baldoni sat each for 2 days of 7-hour depositions. That's 14 hours each, 28 hours in total. So there is a lot to go through, but I will be going through it because I did commit to reading everything. Okay, so I will start the videos as soon as I can, really, and I'll get through them as quickly as I can, but I'm going to follow the same format. I'll just do the short bite size, sort of within an hour where practically possible, videos.